farm these materials right now if you're planning on getting Columbina. Yes, you heard me loud and clear, we finally have the info on what you need to pre-farm before her release. And not just that, we also know what she scales on, thus we know exactly what artifacts and weapons to prepare. But honestly, this video is gonna be pretty short, kinda like this intro to my partner, Ldshop. But yeah, with Durin and Venti on the current banner, pulling can get real spicy on your wallet. That's where Ldshop steps in. So right now you can save up to 30% on your top-ups. And if you're new, you can get an additional 15% off on your first recharge. Plus, if you join through me, you can get an extra 5% coupon on top of all that. That's a lot of savings, right? Anyway, they've got just as much security as they do discounts because I've used them dozens of times across multiple games, and I've had zero issues. All you need is your UID in your server, and if that somehow isn't enough, you also get one extra welcome if you spend over $80 in a month. So yeah, what are you waiting for? Grab those juicy discounts using my link below. Now back to the video. So Columbina is just about 40 days away, and let's be honest, nobody likes pulling a character only to run around them with them at level 1 because you didn't prepare. So let's cover everything you need to farm for her majestic arrival, starting with her weapon. First off, my genuine advice, go for her signature weapon. It gives her 88.2% crit damage and 542 base attack, which is already huge, but the real spice is in the passive. At R1 it increases her max HP by 10%, then when in a certain state it grants another 14% HP, and on top of that, a 60% lunar damage crit rate. That's honestly an insane value tailored specifically for her kit, especially when you consider the fact that she scales in HP. But if you can't get her signature, then don't worry. Her second best option is Nefer's weapon. It's here simply because it mirrors the exact same main stat and substat, aka that same 88.2% crit damage and 542 attack. The only catch is the passives. Nefer's weapon doesn't increase her HP at all, and it doesn't buff her lunar damage crit. So while the raw stats are identical, you lose out on the extra synergy that her own weapon gives her. Okay, but let's say you don't have Nefer's weapon either. Then your third best option becomes the free-to-play weapon, Sacrificial Jade. This craftable weapon gives a really strong amount of crit rate, plus a passive that boosts HP, which Columbina desperately wants. Honestly, it might be better than Nefer's weapon under certain circumstances, like when Nefer already has it equipped. With that said, the only thing you need to watch out for is that same crit rate because it really just gives so much crit rate that you could accidentally overcap past 100%, which is both good and bad. I mean, sure, it's great since you'll crit non-stop, but bad because any crit rate above 100% is completely wasted. So just be mindful when rolling artifacts. But honestly, if you know you're not getting your signature weapon, just go for Sacrificial Jade. You can never go wrong with it. Okay, moving on from her weapon, let's talk about her talent priority and materials. Columbina's burst is amazing because it buffs every character, whether they're from Nod Cry or not, so your priority should be burst first, then skill, then normal attack. Now for talents, we all know we need 3 types of materials. One from a weekly boss, one from a common mob like slimes, and then the talent books. 2 of these can already be free-farmed, so let's go over them. For her talent books, you'll need the Philosophy of Moonlight series, the same books used for Llama. You'll need around 114 of the green rarity, 63 of the blue rarity, and 9 of the gold rarity. For her enemy drops, she uses slime concentrates. A lot of them. But most of us already have tons of slime stocked up, so no need to list every single number. And lastly, you'll need 18 of the new weekly boss material that drops from Dator coming in 6.3. Sadly, we can't farm that yet, so we'll just have to wait. If you only plan to crown her skill and burst only, then you'll need just 12 of that weekly material since each one takes 6. So to level up Columbina herself, aside from Mora, you'll need 4 materials for her ascension. 3 out of 4 of those are already available, so let's break them down one by one. As always, you'll need the usual 7.1 million Mora, plus the standard Hydro Gems. These are 1 Hydro Silver, 9 Hydro Fragments, 9 Hydro Trunks, and 1 Hydro Gemstone. Simple. Secondly, you'll need slime materials again, which honestly shouldn't be a problem. For the third material, you'll need 46 Radiant Antlers, which drop from the Nod Cry normal boss, the Frost Knight Hera. Just come prepared with resin, and maybe a little luck, so that you'd get more drop per kill. Now for the last material, it's a local flower that isn't available until 6.3. So yeah, we'll have to wait again. Oh, and of course you'll need the usual Hero's Wit, around 400 of them. Alright, so let's get into Columbina's weapon materials. So you're pulling Columbina's weapon. Here are the 3 essential materials you'll need. First, you're gonna need the Aureate Radiance of the Far North Scions. This can be gotten from the Lost Mooncourt domain, which is open for the next 5 days. You'll need 5 of the common rarity, 14 of the rare rarity, 14 of the epic rarity, and 6 of the legendary rarity. So yeah, Stock up on all of them while the domain is still up. Next, you've got to get frost-etched warrants. These are dropped by level 60 plus Fatui Opric. Yep, I'm not reading all that. Anyway, for these you'll need 15 of the lowest rarity, 23 of the middle rarity, and 27 of the highest rarity. Fair warning, this one might take a bit of grinding, so pick a whole separate day for it. Now, the third material is currently set to be released in 6.3, so we'll have to wait. That makes 2 material we're waiting for, and yes, it's only 2 material missing from the whole Columbina level up material. With that said, it'll be dropped by this New World boss, not a weekly boss, so yeah, it's quite easy to get. Alright, moving on from her weapon, let's talk about Columbina's artifacts. Sadly, they haven't been fully released yet, so we don't know the exact passives, but we do know the set name and what substats to prioritize. The artifact set is called Albedo of Morning Star and Moon. Here's what you should focus on. For the Hourglass, go HP %. For the Goblet, also HP %. And for the Crown, this depends on your weapon choice. If you have her signature weapon, go crit rate, but if you're using the free-to-play alternative, the Sacrificial Jade, then go crit damage instead. Makes sense, right? Be warned though, the max HP needed to optimize Columbina's buff is 35k. So when you hit 35k HP, just use the remaining substats for ER or EM. Now onto her best teams. Think of Columbina as stepping into the slot where Aino usually goes. She's versatile, a sub DPS and an amazing support depending on how you use her. For context, her burst buffs the entire team while her skill dishes out solid damage. So her top team comp, we have Llama, Nahida, Nefer, and Columbina. That's probably the most optimized team. Another solid option though is Flynn's, Inefa, Sucrose, and Columbina. And don't worry, if you don't have Sucrose, you can easily swap in Kazua or any other universal buffer you've got. She really works in any team that needs that Nodcry support spot filled. Now, if you haven't pulled any Nodcry characters yet, don't stress it at all. I'd recommend going with Raiden, Taser, and even Nilou Bloom teams. They might not hit quite as hard as a Nodcry comp, but here's the thing. Columbina converts all those reactions into their lunar variants, so your damage won't be too far behind. And with that, that's a wrap for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to visit my partners, Ldshop, for awesome savings. It's free savings with no strings attached. With that said, thanks for watching. Do feel free to sub to my Genshin build channel below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!